What kind of person blocks a funeral procession? Just so her daughter can practice skating? Wait until you see how this one ends. You won't believe what the judge said to her. It was a quiet Sunday morning in Maple Grove. The community's main road, lined with oak trees and fresh spring blossoms, had been reserved that day, not for a party, not for a parade, but for a funeral. A beloved local teacher, Mr. Ray Collins, was being laid to rest. His family, friends, and students had gathered to follow his final ride home. But as the long line of cars approached the main intersection, they were met with a shocking sight: bright orange cones, a road closed sign, and a woman in sunglasses holding a whistle. It was Karen, head of the HOA. Her 12-year-old daughter, Lila, skated circles around her, giggling. A funeral volunteer stepped out of his car. "Ma'am, please move those cones. This road is reserved for Mr. Collins's procession." Karen scoffed. "Oh, that old teacher? My daughter needs this space for her skating lesson. It's been on the HOA calendar for weeks." The man's voice trembled. "Ma'am, it's a funeral. He taught half the children in this neighborhood." Karen folded her arms. Well, maybe he should have booked the road in advance. The procession was forced to stop. Cars backed up. In the lead car, Mrs. Collins, the widow, sat in silence, her eyes filled with tears. Her husband's final goodbye was being delayed by roller skates and cones. Minutes later, the police arrived. They spoke to Karen, who proudly waved her HOA permit in their faces. But the officer's tone changed when he realized what event she had blocked. "Ma'am," he said coldly, "you're obstructing a funeral procession. That's a crime." Karen's smug smile vanished. "What? But my daughter—" "Your daughter can skate anywhere, but this family can't relive this day." The crowd clapped softly as the cones were removed. The cars began moving again. And right before the last car passed, Mrs. Collins rolled down her window. She didn't yell. She didn't curse. She just said quietly, "You didn't stop us. Karen, you only stopped yourself." A week later, in community court, the HOA board was forced to appear before a local judge. Karen stood there, red-faced, trying to explain. "It was a misunderstanding," she insisted. But the judge leaned forward and said, "Misunderstanding? You turned grief into humiliation for your neighbors. The road belongs to the people, not to your pride." Then, in a surprising move, the judge ordered the HOA to sponsor an annual scholarship in Mr. Collins' name, funded by Karen's fines. The courtroom gasped. Even Karen's daughter looked down in shame. Mrs. Collins, sitting in the back, whispered through tears, "Thank you. Sometimes the loudest lesson doesn't come from shouting. It comes from grace. And in this town, kindness won back the road."